Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we have the pleasure of watching Redline RNG playing in their FV4005. And today's video you're going to see a player as if they'd invested all of their statistics in RNG or luck. But considering that Redline RNG even has RNG in their name, yeah, maybe they're twisting fate a little bit in their favor. Now, Redline RNG actually has their own Twitch channel, but unfortunately they haven't streamed on it for the last 6 months. I went taking a look to see if I could find out why their RNG would be so good. So, Redline RNG, you're going to have to turn that stream back on and show us how you can manage to hit these kind of shots. Because as a fellow streamer, I'm sure that you know when everyone's going in your chat and saying, yeah, this isn't real RNG, this is because they're a streamer. Or as a lot of the World of Tanks community like to say, CC matchmaking or CC RNG this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, as Redline RNG is going to show you as if you had kind of like CC special matchmaking or CC RNG is the case. So, Redline RNG, what better tank to be playing today than the FV4005? This is the biggest RNG tank inside the game. Although, as we can see, Redline RNG is doing nearly everything to be able to turn RNG into their favor. They're using a rotation device, they've got less bloom when they're turning the turret and also when they're turning the hull, and they've got an aiming device to improve the accuracy of the vehicle. And while we didn't see how much damage that dealt, we didn't really need to see it, for considering how little time there was between the Centurion disappearing off our screens and also then the Centurion disappearing into the garage. That was pretty much a full health one shot of the Centurion 7-1, and that is what the FV4005 does. It is an unapologetic tank. 1,750 alpha damage on its premium rounds, albeit with only like 230 millimeters of penetration. But each of these shells costs 8,000 credits, so you don't want to miss them. And Redline RNG, as I said, who's maxed out their RNG in this game, is definitely not going to miss too many shells. I wish my FV405 flew like this, or shall I say, I wish that my enemies just drove back a little bit to be able to catch the shell into the back of the turret. Cracking shot there into the side of the British heavy tank, pretty much crippling a very dangerous hold-down tank. And right now, what happens when one RNG tank fires at another RNG tank? Well, I mean, spoilers. Usually when it comes to the FV405, it's the one that fires at the other one that wins the fight. That is a high roll there for 1,850, demolishing a whole tier 10 tank in a single shot. Outrageous. The only way that Redline RNG could have better accuracy in this game is if they were to use vents instead of the gun rammer. But then you'd have to sacrifice about 7% of the reload on this tank to be able to achieve that. Now look at this shot. This is ridiculous. Redline RNG is going to aim for the side of the Panzer 7 there. There's VK7201K. And they somehow managed to, I guess, I'm not sure if that deviated and hit the side of the turret or went through the upper part of the hull when it angled its tank down, or if they hit the side there. But it does have a tiny weak point, but not usually against 230 millimeters of HE. But Redline RNG manages to not only hit the shot, not only pen the shot, but also do 1,922, and then adds on to it a blind shot against a T-30 immediately afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, considering the fact that Redline RNG has hit 2 shells on blind tanks that were pretty much full health, let's say 1,500 damage a pop, they are up above 8,000 damage in the first 4 minutes of this game. And let me tell you, it's not going to stop now. I can only imagine what Redline RNG's teammates were thinking, let alone his platoon mates and what they were thinking in this scenario. Probably like, okay, bud, chill out, you know, leave some for the rest of us. We're trying to get some marks on our Object 268 version 4 as well. And this is from the current patch where the Object 268 version 4 has been nerfed, so you think you'd be nice to your buddy there playing the Object 268 version 4 and leave a little for them, as Wargaming is trying to definitely balance out that vehicle as much as possible. Alright, so a Char Future 4 rushes in, puts 1 shell against the tier 9 German reward tank, flanking around the AE phase 1. The Redline RNG is definitely not on the red line here, as they do elite damage. 1,337 to the Char Future 4. You just couldn't script this kind of game. Redline RNG hasn't even taken any damage this game. Usually, with a name like that, probably used to not taking much damage, at least until the end of the game when they're getting farmed up right, sitting on the red line. But red line RNG is doing anything but sitting on the red line in this game. They're getting forwards, they're clapping tanks, they're finding shells, even on tanks they can't even see. Man, this is as if I've watched Tanya making a lot of characters in Baldur's Gate 3, and I even tried to make one the other day. I want to say I tried to make one. 1,335, 2 less than the last Char Future 4 that got shut down. This is as if you're making a role-playing character, and you didn't put any statistics in strength, you didn't put any statistics in wisdom, charisma, all of that. What you've done is just put 101 pretty much in a luck stat right here. But also, Redline RNG, to be fair, while they are rolling lucky, at least up until that point, I've obviously done a bit of a cast to curse here. Only 1,605? What is that kind of roll? Let's go back to those big one-shot rolls that we had earlier. Redline RNG is not just depending on getting lucky in this game for sure. They've also made the shots count where they mattered. And what we're going to see here now, that the game is over in just over 6 minutes. The Redline RNG dealt 9,669 nice that we saw, but in actuality, this was over 13,000 damage in just over 6 minutes of World of Tanks. And to kind of like really rub it in our faces, even without the personal reserve bonus, Redline RNG would have made profit in this game, even after resupplying 2 consumables at full price. Bro, what are you doing? I guess you missed the consumable sale. But here's a little bit of advice. If you do want to use the concealment directive, you can actually pre-purchase them even when there's no sale going on, and you'll get 2,000 credits off each. I know it's only a 10% discount, but for our players who want to use directives on all of their tanks, hey, every little helps. Usually, FV4005 players, when they are using the correct ammo, which let's be honest is the gold on this tank, are racking up huge bills whenever they're playing the tank. That simply just wasn't the case here. And Redline RNG just stole the game from not only their team, but also their platoon mates. I wouldn't want to platoon with Redline RNG. Maybe my win ratio would skyrocket, but I tell you what, my average damage would plummet, dealing over 6 times what anyone else on their team was able to achieve, while destroying a third of the enemy team and just putting in huge hit after huge hit after huge hit. With the blind shots being 1,620 to the Centurion, and also 1,750, literally a one-shot to the T-30. So, Redline RNG, congratulations to you on the new damage record, and please, you gotta get your stream back open so everyone can bask in what maxed out RNG in World of Tanks looks like. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Sunday, my Twitch holiday is over. I'm going to be returning to streaming right now with the Tech Tree Showcase. And this week, I'm going to be featuring the Object 140, which is currently top of the tree. So if you want to see the original Soviet medium tank line, albeit with the 140 at the crown now instead of the T-62A, which has been retired to a collector's tank, then come along and I'll show you what a classic bunch of medium tanks look like. So really looking forward to seeing you all live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.